Hello everyone. Welcome to the User of Bricks channel. Uh, Today we are creating a sawmill. This is a stone cutter like block with which I am going to be creating uh, recipes for slabs and other things created with wood. Those will be done in future episodes or videos. So let's get into it. So for this sawmill, we are creating a system with which we can use our own custom recipes to plug into the sawmill, and then the sawmill will be able to create those things. We will be creating a basic recipe file made out of procedures. We will be creating a GUI for the sawmill, and we will be creating the recipes list for the sawmill. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to get our resources, which for me, that would be importing a few textures. And I also have a custom model that I will be importing. This model is the same model as the stone cutter, just it has different textures. Okay, once you have your model, if you have one, and textures imported into Mcreator, you can go to your mod elements area and click the plus icon and create a new block. I will be, of course, calling this a saw mill, and I'll just be choosing a quick visual texture, and then the custom model. I will also want this to have a rotation because it has a saw and that is 2D, and I want it to be able to rotate in the different ways. Okay, and I also want this to be cut out nipped, and the max y coordinates, I want it to be at 0.5, as most of this block is a slab. So that's where I want the hitbox and bounding box to be. I will, of course, have its name in the GUI be saw. There's the glitch. Saw mill. I want its hardness to be 1, its resistance to be 5. I want its tool able to destroy it to be an axe. I want it to drop itself. The material would be wood. The sound on step would be wood. And next page. There will be no particles. There will, however, be an inventory. This saw mill will look relatively similar to the crafting table in that it will have 4 input slots, which you put your items, plus an output slot. And then I want it to drop the items, but I do not want it to have comparator data. Okay, and the list of output slot IDs, I want that to be 04, as GUI slot IDs start at 00 and then go 01, 02, 03, and 04 in this case. So the fourth slot will be my output slot. Next page. And we will skip over, no, actually we will not skip over this yet. We can quickly set up a procedure that we will input the GUI that we want it to open, and that will be on the right clicked area. So we want to create that procedure, go to player procedures, and open GUI for player. And the lag is real. Oh, I forgot we don't have the GUI made, so we can't do that yet. We will still add the procedure, as we will be able to edit it later. We want to go to the next page. We do not want it to be spawning like an OR, so we can just save the mod elements. Now you can see the procedure and the sawmill are both created. Next, we will want to create the GUI for the sawmill. So GUI sawmill, create new GUI. And for this GUI, we want it to have slots from the inventory. We want it to bind to the sawmill, and the 352 by 332 looks just fine. We need to add an input slot ID of 0 of inherited. So we want to add slot. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is I want it to snap, so this looks extra nice. So we want one slot 1 there, another input slot 01, add slot, and then of course we will be wanting not an input slot, an output slot of slot ID 05. Add the slot. There we are. So this right here would be the slots. Now we will need a button to trigger the actual crafting, as we don't want it to automatically do the craft. We want the player to be able to choose to do the craft or to change it in certain ways. So we want to add a button. The text of the button will be mill. Then we will want to add a procedure, create the procedure. We'll leave this empty for now. You will see why once we create the crafting recipe template. So we can click OK. We want to double click on that and make it that wide. Okay, and that actually does it for the GUI. That's all we need, so we can save this mod element. And if we scroll down, we should see the sawmill GUI on button click and the GUI sawmill. Now, let's create the crafting template, crafting recipe template. To do that, we will need a procedure. And in this procedure will be called crafting template. as it is a template, it won't actually have too much of anything inside it as of yet. But first off, we will want to go to the template library. We will want to go down to GUI templates for crafting table. We want to connect that on. Yes, this is a lot of procedure blocks, but we will be trimming it down. Okay, we only need the first 4 of these get item from slots. So we can delete, that's 2, 3, 4. We can move that one off. Delete that and function, dragging that back in. And there we have, oh wait, that's 5 slots. I miscounted. So we need to remove one more and function. And then we can put this back in. So that is slot ID 0, 1, 2, and 3. We will want to make this, okay, so we want to change the get number of items from slot 9. We want to change that to a 4. And get items from slot 9 to 4 as well. And then down here from remove items from slot 0, 1, 2, 3, we want to remove from 4 all the way down to 9. And then of course we get items from slot, we want to change that to 4, and then to the place where we're putting the item, we also want that to be 4. And it's as simple as that. We have placed, or created, I should say, a fully functional crafting template. With this, you can input whatever inputs you want into there. So I'm just going to quickly put in a few random blocks with a random output. Okay, and once you have done that, you want to just save the elements. You want to go into the GUI Sawmill on button click, and you will want to be going to the advanced section, and then call procedure. Put that right underneath, and you will want to call the function that you placed your crafting template in. This is just so that you can test it out to see if it works. So let's save that element, as now we have added our first crafting recipe to the sawmill. Now, to actually open the GUI, we will want to go back to our sawmill on block right click, and we will want to go to player procedures, and then open GUI for provided player. And we will want it to be the GUI sawmill. Then we want to save the that mod element. And that is the entire system for a sawmill done. You can clone the crafting template now by clicking this button over here if you're in the Mcreator version of 1.9.0. If you are in the versions before that, you will have to create a new procedure for every crafting recipe. Now with the duplication feature, this makes it just as easy as using a crafting recipe element, which is super nice. Then once you have created that procedure, all you have to do is go into the GUI sawmill on button, click, and then add the advanced call procedure and go to the correct procedure, and that's it that you have to do to add a new recipe. That does it for the sawmill. In the upcoming videos, we will be creating some slabs. I hope you have found this helpful, and leave the thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing and hitting the like button, and also clicking the bell icon to get notified